Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit or Zappy here, back again with the start of a brand new show, and as you can tell by the title of the video, that it is Hunter x Hunter, so I hope you're all excited, because this one has been in the pipeline for a very, very long time, so I myself am hyped to finally get round to it. It's going to be the 2011 version, because that's the one that I've been told that one is the better version to watch. And as for what I know about this show, I know practically zilch. I know that it's a shonen, that's what I've been told, and that it's well revered in the anime community, though I do hear from some people that it doesn't actually get the plaudits that it actually deserves. So I guess the only way to make my own mind up on that and judge it is to actually watch the thing. So I've got a lot of episodes to get through, as this one's a pretty lengthy one. And for those early access tier patrons, you'll be getting 4 episodes every week, 2 on Monday and 2 on Friday. Of course, you know, taking over Fate. And for those of you that aren't early access tier patrons and you're just on YouTube, you'll be getting 2 episodes every Monday, okay? And that'll be just, you know, every subsequent Monday, 2 episodes, okay? So I believe that'll take us into a year and a half. So that's a long time. So yeah, if you want as many episodes as you can get, as fast as you can get them, then you want to become an early access tier patron. The link is in the description to my Patreon there. There's also full length and everything, so if you want to watch the full unedited reaction to every single episode, then you want to become that as well. But that is all. I don't think we need to talk about anything else, because I don't know what else to really say, so we're just going to get into episode 1 and see what we get. I'm guessing a setup episode, so let's go. Okay, episode 1. Yeah, interesting. So the idea is that there's well, these things called hunters, right? And to those people, unknown is essentially magic, is what they refer to it as. I don't think it's actually, like, you know, it's literal magic. I think it's just, you know, the idea of sort of discovering something new that no one has done before. So in that regard, then, I think it's probably the idea is that the world that in which our characters inhabit, it hasn't been fully explored, I imagine. Because not only is that they went through, obviously, the monsters and stuff like that, and then it was discovering, like, hidden treasures and stuff, and then exploring, like, new lands and things. So I'm going to assume that this doesn't take place on Earth. I'm going to assume that this takes place in a world of its own. So we don't know how big that is, or, you know, and whatnot. So it's good, because that means we'll get to explore, like, some interesting places, I'd imagine. So yeah, especially with all of these, like, weird creatures and things that we're going to be seeing. I don't know how much it sort of like, you know, because it seems, you know, you have to take an exam in order to becoming a hunter. So I'm wondering, like, what kind of maybe branches of, like, profession you can get from being this, because Kurapika, the captain, basically says, oh, what, so you want to become, like, a bounty hunter? So I wonder if there's just different stages to it, or you're just known as a hunter and then you just go off and choose what the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean? I don't know how free it actually is, you know. So yeah, Whale Island is where our main character comes from, trying to catch the Lord of the Lake. He's very happy-go-lucky, and I think he's one. It seems like he's, like, one with nature as well, because the first shot that we had of him, he's almost like in what, like, is the equivalent of, like, a ghillie suit almost, and being surrounded, like, by wildlife and shit. Like I said, that he looks like Ace Ventura. You know what I mean? Like, so it seems that he seems to be, like, one with nature in a way, and then he can smell, like, storms coming and stuff. I mean, I get the feeling that he's basically spent most of his life sort of in childhood outdoors, you know, and he's kind of just grown up in that kind of way, obviously knowing this whole time that his father essentially abandoned him to go off and be a hunter. I find Gon's sort of happy-go-lucky sort of personality, especially, well, in regards to his father abandoning him, is very how can I put this? Like, I wonder if, because I get the feeling Gon's sort of trait is that he's happy-go-lucky, right? And that's his thing. So I wonder if it's a bit unhealthy for him to think that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, because in my mind, right, nothing is worth abandoning your children. So the fact is that he says, like, oh, like, you know, to be a hunter, like, I want to go and see, like, what it must be like, because it must be so amazing if he wants to do that over bringing up his children, you know what I mean? And like, it's just, it's an odd way of looking at something, and he seems like very optimistic about it, but I feel like it's almost like an unhealthy sort of way of thinking in a way, you know? Again, like, you know, I've said before in previous reactions and stuff that, like, the way that I see the world's more like, I'm more of a sort of like a realist, you know what I mean? So I don't really look at stuff as like as an optimist would, you know what I mean? I don't really see like, oh, what's the best thing that can, you know, the best thing that can possibly happen in every single situation, you know. So it's gonna, I guess it's probably gonna, I don't know, it's gonna depend on the way that they obviously tell the story. It's only one episode after all, you know what I mean? You can't tell a sort of, you know, it's generally rare that you get a full idea of what a character is in episode 1, but if Gon is going to be like this, then I'm kind of hoping, you know, I kind of feel like he may not be like my favorite character, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say like I'm going to hate him or anything like that, but like, it's sort of like that thing where you kind of, your favorite characters are generally the ones that you can like maybe relate to more, or you just, you know, you feel like they're more of an interesting character because there's more to them, you know what I mean? I find that a lot, because obviously this is a shonen, or that's, you know, what I've told, it does seem that way, that, you know, the main character can generally come across maybe a bit one note, and maybe not delve very deep into, you know, the protagonist as much as the characters around him. So, but we'll just have to wait and see, you know. Because if it does happen, I'll get there eventually, and I'll see it with my own eyes. But yeah, that's just my initial thoughts on Gon as a sort of, just his sort of way of thinking, you know. So yeah, we got a sort of little bit of information regarding like his old man. So his old man Ging, I'm guessing clearly is some either legendary hunter, or he's just very well respected in the hunter community in the world, because people know his name like the captain did, and whatnot. And then we got it, like, obviously introduced to Mito alongside that, which she seems, well, I'll put down, she was like disheartened when hearing about Ging, but then obviously later on it was because, you know, Mito sees it as Ging abandoned his son. So yeah, it wasn't confirmed exactly who she is. The way she was talking about the whole situation, I'm kind of tempted to say that she's not. She might be a relative, but I don't think she's a sister. I don't think Ging is her father as well. But yeah, who knows? So he managed to catch the Lord of the Lord of the Lake, so he was able to you know, take the hunter exam. Because of that, he got on a boat, and he shouts back, "I'm like, when I become the best hunter in the world, I'm gonna come back." And I'm kind of thinking it's an interesting sort of way of looking at it in a way, because almost, I would think, because a hunter revolves around this idea of the unknown, that the best hunter in the world would be the one that would continuously explore and never come back, you know. They would live like the rest of their lives trying to explore stuff and whatnot, you know. But that's just like my initial thoughts on like what a hunter is in episode 1. There might be more to it, like, you know, as we get into this, but like, I feel like just the exposition at the very beginning of the episode, saying that, you know, that there are incredible people that are drawn to the magic of the unknown, and those people are called hunters. So you would think that it's not necessarily like a case of like, I don't know, like who's killed the most monsters and things like that. I feel like it's you know, it can be in regards to sort of to anything. I would feel like the best hunter in the world. I don't know how they would, like, how could you go out and say that, like, with certainty that you are the best hunter? You know what I mean? Like, is there stats? Like, oh, I've discovered the most things. I don't know, you know. So yeah, I don't know. It could just be like, you know, it could just be like extension, like, oh, the best hunter in the world that I can be, as opposed to like the best hunter in the world, period, you know. But yeah. So yeah, we got introduced to obviously Kurapika and Leorio as the other two. I mean, they kind of did stick out versus the other guys who were just, you know, generic background characters. So it's not surprising. I called out the fact that the exam had already started. I don't know why. Like I sort of thought about. I kind of in my head I was like, I was kind of thinking like, well, in a profession that sort of apparently dominates this whole world, like it seems to be like hunter is the like, that's like the top profession, like oh shit, to be a hunter, you know, that, you know, to take an exam, have things happen on the fly, right, and see how like how certain people like deal with the situation that they're put in, and sort of, you know, their initial thought processes and how, and the how they deal with it, with the whole situation that's happening right in front of them, you know. It's just basically taking the initiative. So yeah, I just kind of, just the way that it was shown, it kind of just looked like that was the exam happening like immediately, you know. So yeah, there was also the thing like earlier on where the captain like pointed out that he remembered Ging, so it would just be a bit odd that, I don't know, maybe like he must have been he must be in some way related to the hunters in whatever way. So yeah, but we got told that he was sort of like, he was kind of like brought in for the examination process and trim the fat, as he says. So yeah, we've got a bit of information regarding Kurapika, basically saying that he's the last of the Kurta clan. So I'm guessing that, like, I mean, I don't know how like sort of special that clan is supposed to be. There seemed to be a little bit of like when he mentioned it, and he holds it close to his heart as well, Kurapika. But it seemed like when he mentioned it, people were like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if there's something with the Kurta clan that's you know what I mean, like specific to them. I did realize, like, you know, a few moments after that like he said like he's hoping like over time the rage will subside, but he got like a glowing red eye, and I don't know if that's just a visual cue, like, you know, if it's just a visual or it's like it's telling us like, oh, he has some kind of power related to the Kurtas or whatever, you know. I haven't really been shown like this idea that like maybe there's some kind of power involved in being a hunter or whatever, or you can like learn like techniques and stuff like that. So, but that'll all come in all due time. So yeah, the Phantom Troupe, apparently that's what they're called, the bandits or whatever that took out that clan, and they're supposed to be the captain says like level A, a level A bounty or whatever, right? So they're supposed to be pretty dangerous, I imagine. I quite liked, well, first of all, right, so yeah, Leorio, I kind of like had him sussed pretty immediately that he would be a bit more materialistic in the way that he sort of acts, you know. He's clearly got this suit on, like sort of trying to act as something that maybe he isn't, you know what I mean? But I like the fact that it immediately went into drama, because I wasn't expecting that. You know, I like the fact that those two were at odds immediately, because normally I don't think it would have ever happened that way, especially in the first episode anyway, with other sort of shonen and things. So I quite like the fact that they didn't pull any sort of like, you know, punches on that between those two and immediately like, you know, shot at the heart. I like that. So yeah, and then obviously, yeah, so Katsuo got basically taken in by the wind, and he almost got thrown overboard and gone with no hesitation whatsoever, jumped over, grabbed his, and that's the thing, is like he put so much trust into Kurapika and Leorio that they would catch him, you know what I mean? Because if they didn't, he was going over anyway, but he never thought about that. He was just like, nah, they're going to do it, and he jumped straight over and caught him. So yeah, good guy. And of course, them three passed as well because of that. So yeah, interesting first episode. So I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. We're just going to end this video and then get in episode 2. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord. If you want to get any information regarding my content, or you just want to come over and talk to me on the community, you're free to do that with the link down there. SirMonkeySuit.com, my website, all my content is over there. And Patreon. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So there's the early access, $5 a month. If you want 4 episodes of Hunter x Hunter every week, become an early access tier patron. And for other shows, you get them a week early as well. $10, that's the full length. $10 a month, that gives you access to my full length library. Everything I react to gets a full length. Exclusive tier, that gives you access to a bonus show I'm currently reacting to, which is 7 Deadly Sins. So if you're interested in watching me react to that, become an exclusive tier patron. $50, that is the elite tier. Every time you pay $50, you've got a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It will go to the back of the list behind about 7 shows. Might take me a while to get round to them, but I will do eventually. But if you don't want to wait that long and you want your show to be reacted to next, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. But that is all, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.